SCP-1741 Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Area 1741 has been constructed as the primary research and containment facility for SCP-1741 and is surrounded by a 3-meter high fence with a 300-meter radius centered around SCP-1741-A. Civilians are to be deterred under the guise of private property, and any non-Foundation personnel found within the containment zone are to be given Class C amnestics and released. Remote surveillance via D17412 is to be monitored at all times. The equipment on D17412's person has power. After a wake event, personnel are to debrief D17412 on the current situation. Exploration goals, which can be found in File 1741 ELG, are to be given at this time. Description: SCP-1741 is the collective designation for a series of anomalies centered around an indestructible 2-meter tall brick shack designated SCP-1741-A, located on the bank of the Redacted River in southern Louisiana. The door of SCP-1741-A cannot be opened. The interior of SCP-1741-A is only visible when the window is opened by the humanoid SCP-1741-C within. When this occurs, the second anomalous property of SCP-1741-A is revealed. Volume of the interior is vastly greater than the exterior appearance of the building should allow. Visible contents of SCP-1741-A resembles the establishment colloquially referred to as a soda fountain, with the window acting as a drive-through despite most such establishments lacking one. SCP-1741-B are several aquatic vehicles surrounding SCP-1741-A. SCP-1741-B instances are stylized as different marine animals, all in various states of disrepair. Should instances of SCP-1741-B be removed from an 80-meter radius from SCP-1741-A, a new instance of SCP-1741-B will rise from the bottom of the river. SCP-1741-C is a male humanoid of European descent, dressed in zoot suit. SCP-1741-C possesses no visible anomalous anatomy, though it does not appear to require nourishment and does not age. SCP-1741-C will attempt to sell boat rides to anyone who approaches SCP-1741-A. An instance of SCP-1741-B will spontaneously self-repair for each human who purchases a ride, the price of which is $3. A newly repaired SCP-1741-B will drift to the riverbank until the customer boards. Should a customer travel more than 80 meters from SCP-1741-A, the repaired SCP-1741-B will ram itself into another instance of SCP-1741-B and sink from the subsequent structural damage. Only one human is permitted per instance, and if more than one attempts to board, the SCP-1741-B will break apart. SCP-1741-C will not provide a refund for ships damaged in either of these ways. When a customer successfully boards, SCP-1741-B will autonomously travel down the river, disappearing from visual surveillance after approximately 20 meters of movement. Remote surveillance remains active, revealing the SCP-1741-B transports the customer to an archipelago of variable number of islands located outside of conventional space. Each island holds designation of SCP-1741 hash, and each exhibits a unique anomalous characteristics outlined in the table below. The instance of SCP-1741-B will crash upon the shore of the newest island and sink. Table reads as follows: Island SCP-1741-1. Anomalous characteristics. Space-time anomalies are prevalent throughout SCP-1741-1. Source of wake events. No known occupant. Island SCP-1741-2. This island is inhabited by a series of featureless humanoids. All of them are extremely violent but do not possess excessive strength. Known occupant: John Paul Dumas, a French soldier, 1801. Island SCP-17413. Anomalous characteristics. Airborne amnestics appear to be present in the atmosphere of this island. All fruit grown on this island are apples, the consumption of which combats the amnestics. Occupant Arthur Smith, a Catholic priest, from 1954. Island SCP-17414. Anomalous characteristics. Majority of SCP-17414 is an expanded market filled with featureless humanoids selling and purchasing various goods using an unknown currency. This market is the only source of edible resources on the island. Occupant D17411, 2003. Island SCP-17415. This island contains a sapient anomaly that claims to be a god. The anomaly does not appear to have a physical form, only appearing as a large shadow cast independent of the sun's light. Occupant D17412, year 2003. End table. A wake event is a large-scale space-time anomaly centered around the archipelago. The start of a wake event requires an instigator to activate a device on SCP-17411. A wake event will cause the arrangement of the islands within the archipelago to be randomized. All occupants of the archipelago are instantly returned to the instance of SCP-1741-B they arrived on, with all but the instigator of the wake event having lost all memory of the previous session. All SCP-1741-B will then crash into their respective islands. All exploration logs can be accessed by all personnel with clearance for this article. However, exploration logs 2 to 11 will be redacted from this document for the sake of brevity. These explorations were used to outline the island's effects in the table above. During these logs, D17412 found a brochure in his SCP-1741-B instance. This brochure encouraged readers, under the guise of being part of the tour, to visit the stone tower when the sun was directly above it. Addendum. On the 5th of the 8th, 2005, the door of SCP-1741-A opened and SCP-1741-C exited the building. The door shut without any further interaction. Foundation personnel captured SCP-1741-C, who did not resist. The window of SCP-1741-A then opened, revealing D-17411. The interior of SCP-1741-A now resembled a typical fast food restaurant, with various television sets displaying footage of the human occupants of the archipelago. D-17411 has been designated SCP-1741-C2, and the former C designated SCP-1741-C1. SCP-1741-C2 declined explaining how it entered SCP-1741-A. It then offered to sell the questioning agent a boat ride.